I'm Sarah Lacey with A Girl's Guide to Cars, and welcome to my super sneak peek of the Toyota BZ SUV concept. Welcome to the future, everybody. So what is BZ? It's kind of this new acronym from Toyota. Well, what it means is beyond zero. And that means not just the carbon footprint of their vehicles. It also means using sustainable materials, eco-friendly materials, and importantly, and something we don't think about very often, is what happens to the car after we're done driving it. Toyota is focused on making this car eco-friendly after its life cycle. But before we talk about the end of the life cycle, let's talk about the beginning of it. Let's talk about this amazing front end, by the way. Look at these beautiful headlights and this gorgeous black gloss grille. It's so futuristic and so sharp. And you know, it doesn't look too Jetsons, it doesn't look too future, it just looks right for right now. It's absolutely gorgeous. Moving down the car, you see these beautiful, super sporty wheels and the gloss black trim along the bottom of the car. It really makes it feel like it's got a little extra spice, because we all like that. But you know, the back end of the car is beautiful too, so let's take a look. Mirroring the LEDs on the front, we also have them on the rear going all the way across the trunk lid. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I love that we have this beautiful matte gray paint job, again with this black gloss trim piece. It just sets it off beautifully. Toyota has a goal of reaching carbon neutrality by 2050. But in order to do that, they're going to have to continue to make cars that are beautiful as well as eco-friendly. So one of the things they've really accomplished in this concept is this beautiful environment on the inside. It feels almost like I'm in just a gray flannel suit or something. It's very soft, this microfiber that we have going on here. And I love that it's on the steering wheel. And if you can take a look at this beautiful curved screen, it just absolutely screams modern technology, but it's not intimidating. It's warm and friendly. I love the curves. So it wouldn't be a concept car without a lot of beautiful technology. Starting here with the wireless charging pads, it's got this beautiful kind of felt texture here on this shelf. We also have the touch screen that's going to give you all your navigation, your music, and your climate control. But what I really want to talk about is UI. When you say, "Hey UI," that's the user interface here in the car. You're going to be able to ask UI for help with anything, whether it's navigation or changing the radio station or setting your climate controls. In fact, the rear passengers have access to it too. So they can say, "Hey UI, turn on my seat heat back here," and UI will make it happen. So while the BZ concept car embodies all of the future things that we all want to see in our transportation, all electric, sustainable, zero emissions, this is still a car of the future. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for this, let's go take a look at some of our other options that you could get today. So while it's been really fun to talk about the future of Toyota's electric vision, we have to talk about the past and the Toyota Prius. I can remember seeing the first generation of the Prius in Gilmore Girls when Rory's grandparents gifted her the Prius. And I can also remember the second generation Prius as Claire drives it down the highway in one of the most epic series finales ever on 6 Feet Under. The Prius has been part of the environmental conversation for 22 years. In fact, you could argue that it's probably at the forefront of it. And the 2023 Prius comes along just in time. So why is this such a timely launch for the Prius? Well, because so many people are talking about EVs right now. But what a lot of people are also learning is that they may not be ready to make that leap to the electric lifestyle. And all these hybrids are just sitting here, waiting in the background, waiting for you to notice them, so that you realize what an actually perfect bridge they are between your gas-powered engine and the electric future. I'm loving this consistent design language between the models that I'm seeing here today and also in other models in Toyota's lineup. But you can see echoes of the BZ here in the Prius with the LED tail lights and the gloss black accents. The Prius also sits about 2 inches lower than its previous generation, and part of that is because they have switched from a nickel metal battery pack to a lithium-ion battery pack. It's smaller, it's lighter, and it enables Toyota to design the Prius a little bit differently than they have in the past. It also gets you about 15% more output than previous generations of the Prius. So that's a win-win for everyone. So when you're thinking about a hybrid, I want you to know this. The new Prius is going to get a Toyota estimated 57 miles to the gallon. So if you just can't seem to make that electric car leap, that's not a bad alternative. A standout safety feature for me is the proactive driving assist in the Prius. And what that does is it uses radars and cameras that are built into the system already for cruise control. And what it does is it helps apply gentle steering, gentle braking. It helps you maintain distance between you and the car in front of you. Think of it almost like a co-pilot. It's just kind of helping you stay out of trouble and help you stay a little bit less road ragey on your way home from work. So this wireless charging pad is really cool. It's kind of this, you set your phone in there on the side and it's kind of fun. It keeps it tucked in and out of the way. Another thing I want you to notice is the iconic gear shift. If you've ever been in a Prius before, you recognize this cool little icon here to select the gears that you want to be in. Another thing I want to talk about too really quick are the different driving modes in the Toyota Prius. The 2023 is no different than previous generations. It's got an eco mode, a comfort mode, and a sport mode. And to keep it simple, essentially your eco mode is going to be your most fuel efficient mode. It's not gonna, respond when you put the hammer down. It's gonna remind you that you're here to save your gas and save your electric charge. But you can put it into sport mode and then you can kind of zip around town and get your errands done a little bit quicker. And of course, then there's comfort mode, which is a little bit in between, and it's going to provide a comfortable ride, not quite as conservative as eco mode and not quite as aggressive as sport mode. And lastly, you can go into EV mode if you just want to use the electric power that you have stored in your battery. That doesn't last as long. It works probably best in conjunction in the typical hybrid mode, but it's an option for you if you'd like to use it. Rear seat passengers have a couple of creature comforts back here in the rear seat of the 2023 Toyota Prius. Both seats have heated seats, and we have also 2 sets of USB-C charge ports. If you're wondering where the cup holders are, we've got a couple built into the center console here, so that's nice. And lastly, we have 2 sets of latch connectors for your child safety seats. It's been fun to get a sneak peek at Toyota's iconic past being an environmental steward, and also to take a peek at the future with their BZ SUV concept. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Sarah with A Girl's Guide to Cars, and I look forward to showing you more about the Prius and the BZ in the future.